yesterday at the Stamford Bridge, there was history created by Carl Palmer. I think he's really 22, 23 years of age, and he scored 4 goals in a single half in the 21st minute, 28th minute, 31st minute, and the 41st minute. That game ended 4-2, and it was really good. And Carl Palmer went ahead to obviously make history, and that history really looked good. And I think it really made loads of noise over the world. And we are powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. And do the needful and really call them on +256 70 99 88 665 and follow them on WhatsApp. They'll obviously get you the best that they can really do into the mix. So that side of Mono Gadgets deals in brand new laptops and brand new phones. And even if you want used phones and used phones and used laptops from the UK, you can call them on that number, and you can even follow them on TikTok, and that is Mono Gadgets for you. So after all that, let's get into the records that were set up by this guy called Carl Palmer, because you need to know what he really went ahead obviously get into his beautiful game of football yesterday. Now, Palmer made history with 4 first half goals, including a stunning free kick, as Chelsea and Brighton is unbeaten start. Chelsea moved third, 1 point behind table leaders. They're now 2 points behind table leaders, and that is Liverpool. Lots to like going forward. Chelsea have a Premier League high 15 goals, and it's now 3 assists in 3 games for Sancho. Enzo Maresca will want Chelsea to sharpen up defensively, but no doubt overall things are really clicking up. That is the side of Chelsea in there for you. They made history yesterday, and Carl Palmer scored 4 goals in a single half. And his manager, who goes by the names of Enzo Maresca, has come out and really had the following to tell BBC about this exciting player. He said, "I knew Carl Palmer for many years. I had him at Man City in the under-23s. The best thing is, as a human, he's still the same way. This doesn't change his life, and that's the best thing for him. He doesn't have to tell people how good he is. You would have to be blind if you don't see it. I say to him that he scored 4, but he could have got 2 to 3 more. It's important to be hungry and ambitious." Obviously, he would have gone ahead to score more, because if you really remember what he really went ahead to do into that game of football, two goals of his were really ruled out. Were really cancelled by VAR. So you obviously know what it is. And I tell you what, a lot is really gonna happen into the mix of the guy known as Enzo Maresca, and doing what he does as a manager. It really excites him and the fans of Chelsea, and they're really doing the due diligence. And I've always wanted to let people know that that Carl Palmer is the best player at Chelsea. And each and every time you play around players like Jadon Sancho and very many others, you obviously anticipated that. And he knew him way back at Man City, and that's why he knows his abilities. And he says the player doesn't change. He's the same always. And that is really very important to note, that the player doesn't really change when it comes to really doing what he has to do with the ball, and he's really very calm and composed. Now, Enzo Maresca on Carl Palmer centrally said, "We use Palmer in that position because for me," he says, "because for me, it's his best position. He can play false 9, winger, and in the pocket. He's so good. The only thing I can say is Cole Palmer inside the pitch is where he is the best." So obviously, I've always gone ahead to say this on several occasions for people who've been watching this channel for some time, that this guy known as Carl Palmer, his best position is the central attacking midfield, and in that position he obviously puts in the best thing possible, and that's where you really see the best of Carl Palmer, especially when he's being given that freedom to operate everywhere he really wants to be playing at. So for me, I'm like, all right, good, and I think the best of him is yet to come. Let's all admit, the best of this player is yet to obviously come. And that's exactly what we really anticipate from a player of the quality of Carl Palmer. And his fellow players, Jadon Sancho, his fellow player, has come out and really had something to say about this guy and what he really went ahead to put out onto the field of play. All right, this is what he really had to say. He said that when you have a player in your team like Carl Palmer, then anything is possible. We see what he's capable of each day in training. We see the quality he has, and honestly, it's not real surprise to me to see him score 4 goals. That is exactly what Sancho has gone ahead to say, that when you really have a player like Carl Palmer, obviously a lot has to happen because his quality is really immense, and there is no way you can rule him out of really doing what he's supposed to be doing in as a player. So we just have to wait and see what he's really going to offer in the most aspects of the pitch and see how things are really going to pan out for this player. But I tell you what, he's one of those that you have to obviously come up and obviously give his flowers for what he did the previous season and what he's really doing this season. I tell you, he's really doing wonders, and nothing is really going to stop him from obviously taking himself to the levels where we anticipate him to be playing at. And this season, he has played 6 Premier League games. He has 6 goals and is having 4 assists, meaning that he has 4 goal involvements as compared to last season where he scored 22 and he made 11 assists. Now, he's just 16 goals away from really hitting the level he was at last season. So that makes him one of the most effective players, and I tell you, he's really going to come up and obviously do the needful. And when you look at the upcoming games of Chelsea, you really believe that he can obviously extend it far and far and far and far and far and far much better into the mix. When you look at the next games of Chelsea in the Premier League, they're playing Nottingham Forest at the Stamford Bridge. You anticipate that he's really going to shine. Liverpool, you know, he's a big game player. That is he's a big game player. That is Carl Palmer. They have to play Newcastle, and Manchester United. In such games to be played, you really understand that this guy is really going to be enjoying himself to the fullest and obviously do the needful. So for me, I feel like it's high time. I tell you, it's high time Chelsea really gave this boy his flowers and gave him what he really deserves into what he deserves to do, because he is what he is. He is what he thinks he is, and he is really going to take the Premier League by storm. You know, he's joining that league of Kevin De Bruyne, Martin Odegaard, James Maddison. Someone might be like, why aren't you talking about Bruno Fernandes? I don't think that Bruno Fernandes is into that league. You get? He's not in that league of people, and I don't really find him very composed like this guy. This guy scores free kicks, he has assists. You know, his entire game is really very balanced, and there is nothing in his game that you can fault him about. You get? He stands high and he does all what he has to do in as a player, and I just love what he really puts out into the mix all the time. So he's what he is, and I love everything that he obviously puts out as a player, and nothing is really going to really stop him from obviously experiencing what he really deserves to get in as a player. So I just leave it for you. Do you think Carl Palmer is one of those best happenings to the Premier League? Because I believe he's an exceptional player, and it is one of those things that he really puts in on a daily basis. Consistency is what he feeds on, and class and elegancy is the oxygen that he breathes as a player. Let's obviously continue to really go into the comment section and tell me what you think about Carl Palmer and what he has gone ahead to experience this season and put in the best of the best. So this is our first video of the day. United has already gone ahead to concede a goal. You know, we've conceded the first goal against Tottenham Hotspur. That is it. And it's really very, very, very hard. And how many minutes played? I think there are 16 minutes played. And obviously we're going to be letting you know on this channel how the game of football is really going to be ending. Bye-bye.